Welcome to the Wife Stories YouTube channel. New video every day, and don't forget to subscribe. Here we go.
I noticed the smell first. It's clinging to a shirt that isn't mine. Her perfume, something with vanilla and citrus, drifts up from that white cotton like a silent accusation. The shirt rests on the arm of our living room couch, half folded, with a crease across the chest, as if it's been hurriedly stuffed into a bag, then left behind by mistake. Outside, it's late, well past midnight. Inside, I hear our shower running. She's in there. Door closed. Water pounding against tile. Turned on without me. I stand there, shirt in hand, and my breath catches. The overhead kitchen light hums. My hand tightens around the fabric. I wish I could wring the truth out of it. The smell is stronger up close. Not my cologne, not my sweat. I should toss it away, burn it. But I don't. I just keep gripping it until my knuckles turn white. This is an official statement, I tell myself. As though everything I say in front of a panel of strangers. Cold, dispassionate. Like I'm giving evidence in a courtroom, but my heart is racing, and my stomach churns. My voice wants to break. Instead I swallow, let the air out slowly, look around the living room as if I can record every detail. The lamp on the side table, her purse tossed on the floor, the slight scuff on the coffee table from last week, when she and I had an argument about nothing. I can still hear the water. She's behind that closed door, washing away someone else's touch, or maybe just letting the hot jets soothe her guilt, or her thrill. I don't know. My jaw sets, and the slow ache in my chest spreads through my arms. I can't let go of the shirt. You wanted me to start with that smell. Fine. That's exactly how I learned the final piece of truth. But let's be clear. I saw it coming. I felt it in her growing silence, the distance in her eyes when I tried to talk. And then there was the name she mumbled in her sleep, the half-choked cry in the middle of the night, the secrets in her phone she thought I never checked. I never confronted her outright, not at first. I wanted it all spelled out. I wanted evidence, something beyond the intangible guilt. I needed to be absolutely sure, like verifying a bank statement line by line. The shower stops. Silence. I hear a faint squeak of the faucet. Then a rustle of a towel behind the door. My mind flicks back to the day I got that envelope from the archives. The day I read that ridiculous sentence. Father, Robert Johnson. My name nowhere in sight. A glitch, I'd thought. Some error in the system. Maybe I typed something wrong. Maybe the archivist messed up. But I asked for a reprint. 3 days later, same name. Different father for my son. Not me. It's not possible, I told myself. We've been married over a decade. We have a child who looks like me. Or so I always believed. But the child's hair is a shade darker, eyes more like hers. Could be coincidence. Genes can be strange. And still, I refuse to believe it. Error. Glitch. Bureaucratic nonsense. Meanwhile, she began talking in her sleep, or maybe just reliving moments in those half-dreams. I set up a small camera on the shelf next to the bedroom lamp. I told myself it was for security. I told myself I wanted to protect her from prowlers or something equally silly. But I was lying to myself. I needed proof. The first time I played back that night's footage, I had to pause the video because she was crying out a name I'd never heard from her lips. Rob. She said it so softly and so intimately. Then moaned something about, I'm sorry. Then she whimpered like she was in the middle of a dream she couldn't escape. I should have confronted her right then. But I was a coward, or maybe too stunned. I thought confronting her might break us in ways we couldn't fix. And I was trying to fix things, ironically, by not saying anything. Instead, I got closer, took over everything. Our bank accounts, the daily tasks, the groceries, the phone bills. I hovered around her like a shadow, hoping she'd lean on me, hoping I'd be the sole presence she recognized. Maybe that was my first step toward revenge, or maybe it was my twisted attempt to hold on to something that was already gone. Either way, she barely noticed. She just looked haunted, absent, as if she were living in two worlds. Now there's no space for illusions anymore. I stand in our living room, clutching a stranger's shirt that reeks of her perfume, hearing the squeak of the faucet handle as she's done showering. My eyes burn. I close them. I whisper, "He was here, wasn't he?" The door opens. She steps out, wrapped in a towel. Steam billows into the hallway. I look up. Our eyes meet. She sees the shirt in my hands. Her face goes pale. I speak like I'm reading from a transcript, slow and measured. "Whose shirt is this?" She says nothing, just stares. Then her gaze flicks to the floor. My heartbeat thumps so loudly I can't hear the clock ticking anymore. The tension is suffocating. When she finally speaks, her voice shakes. It's not what it looks like. I almost laugh, except there's no humor in me. "I'm sure," I reply. "How could it be?" We stand in silence. She tries to edge past me, maybe to get to the bedroom, but I take a step that blocks her path. I hold up the shirt, try not to shake with rage. The smell is overwhelming now, and it drowns out the faint lavender soap wafting from her damp skin. "Is that how you do it?" I ask quietly. "He comes here while I'm gone, while our son's at school. You shower together, or do you shower after you're done?" She flinches at the harshness in my tone. Her lips part, but no words come out. Then she tries to speak again. "Michael, I hold up my hand, a signal for her to be silent. I can't handle her voice right now. I don't want to hear excuses or apologies. I want to keep this moment pinned down, like evidence in a court case. Here we have the exhibit. A shirt that does not belong to me, reeking of her perfume, found in my home. At an hour that makes no sense for casual visits. It's late, I say, hearing my voice tremble, the anger only partly contained. And you're in my shower, getting rid of him. Did you think I wouldn't notice the smell?" She sucks in a breath, tears forming in her eyes. But I can't bring myself to comfort her. I almost can't bring myself to hate her either. I feel numb. She tries again. He had nowhere else to go. I'm sorry. I see her exhale, as if letting go of a heavy burden. Maybe she figures I know everything now, so she has no reason to hide. Or maybe she's still trying to lie in some smaller way. Right then, the water from the showerhead drips into the drain behind her, a slow, repetitive tap. I think about all the nights I believed she was just out with friends or a client. All the nights she came home with that faint trace of something I couldn't name. My mind flickers to the camera I placed on the bedroom shelf. Enough is enough. I have all the proof I need. More than I want, actually. I take a step back. She tries to move past me. My arms drop to my sides, the shirt dangling from my right hand. "We'll talk later," I say. My voice, if I can call it that, is hollow. I think I'm about to lose it, but I keep calm out of sheer willpower. Something about not wanting to break in front of her. Because a man isn't supposed to cry. A man's supposed to keep it together, especially now. She nods, maybe in relief. She slips away into the bedroom and closes the door. I stand there for a moment, wanting to scream, wanting to fling the shirt across the room or set fire to it. Instead, I fold it, very carefully, and set it on the counter. I stare at it as if it's a piece of evidence I'll need for the next stage of the trial. That's how my new life begins, with the smell on that shirt. The next morning, she's awake before me. Or maybe she never slept. I stayed in the living room, dozing upright in the recliner, eyes half open. My head ached from exhaustion, from trying to process. In the early hours, I heard the faint pad of her footsteps in the hallway, the bedroom door opening, her muffled sobs. I didn't go to her. I couldn't. The shock was so raw, I felt like any movement might cause me to shatter. She's in the kitchen now, making coffee. The smell of fresh brew mingles with the unspoken tension. I walk in, stiff, feeling that sense of betrayal coursing through my veins like poison. I notice she's dressed in casual clothes, jeans, and a loose sweater, hair still damp from another shower, or maybe she just splashed her face. No ring on her finger. My ring is still on, though. I glance at my left hand, see that gold band, and think of the day I put it on. I open my mouth to speak, but she beats me to it, voice trembling. I'm sorry, Mike. I know you hate me now, and you have every right. It just happened. I tried to end it. He was lonely, I was. She trails off, lips quivering. I think about her words. It just happened. That's the phrase that's supposed to justify everything. Part of me wants to lash out, throw the coffee mug across the room, watch it shatter. But I don't. I just stand there, like a statue. A statue with a heart that's pounding so hard it hurts. He's Robert, right? I say quietly. She gasps. Her coffee cup rattles against the counter. You? How did you? I close my eyes. It's in the archives. They updated the digital files. The father's name. Not me. Him. Her face goes from pale to ashen. She sets down her cup, nearly spilling it. She whispers, "That's not. Don't. Don't tell me it's not true. I saw it twice, on official documents. And I heard you, moaning his name. That's why I set up the camera. I heard you at night. I watched you talk in your sleep." She winces. Tears spill over her cheeks. My own throat tightens at the sight. I hate seeing her cry. I hate that my first instinct is to comfort her, to hold her. But I can't do that. Not now. "It was a mistake," she murmurs. "I wasn't thinking straight. When I got pregnant, I didn't even know if it was his or yours. And you were so happy. I couldn't take that away from you. Please, Michael, I never wanted to destroy you." I swallow. My voice is rough when I speak. "But you did. Don't you see that?" She looks at me, eyes wide, tears shimmering. "I'm so sorry." I feel the coffee machine behind me shudder as it finishes brewing. Everything in this kitchen is too loud. The fridge hum, the tick of the clock, her ragged breathing. I think of all the times she and I laughed here, making breakfast on lazy Saturday mornings. Now every memory is tainted with betrayal. I close my eyes again, hearing my heartbeat in my ears, feeling that well of anger and heartbreak swirl deep inside. My chest feels tight. My jaw clenches. I want to say so many things, but none of them can fix this. Finally, I speak slowly, with that courtroom precision. "Don't. Not now. Just let me think." She nods, hugging herself. She looks so small, so defeated. If this were a different scenario, I might rush to her side. But that moment has passed. I walk out of the kitchen and into the hallway, passing by the framed photos of our wedding and our child's first birthday. My footsteps echo. I go to my office and close the door behind me. Inside, I slump into the chair, bury my face in my hands, and let out the softest groan. Part of me wants to rage, to punch a hole in the wall, but there's a gnawing emptiness that's even worse than anger. It's that sense of complete disorientation, the knowledge that the foundation I built my life on was rotten from the start. My hands tremble. I press them flat on the desk, inhaling deeply until the urge to break something subsides. This is not over. Not by a long shot. She's still here. The man is probably somewhere in the city, waiting. Maybe they've planned their next move. Maybe not. But I'm the one who's been left in the dark for so long. I'm the fool who didn't see the obvious signs. And now I've got to figure out how to handle this carefully, like defusing a bomb. An hour later, I emerge from my office. She's in the living room, sitting on the couch, that same shirt folded in her lap. She's been crying. I can see the red around her eyes, the way her cheeks are blotchy. On the coffee table is a box of tissues, half empty. She glances up when I walk in, and the raw guilt on her face almost knocks the wind out of me. I don't greet her. I don't ask how she's feeling. I just stand, arms at my sides, scanning the space. Then I notice a piece of mail on the table, some advertisement, maybe. I pick it up, glance at it blankly, set it down. She clears her throat, tries to speak. I can't let her get the first word. I've decided something in that hour alone. I want to see the shape of her betrayal fully, then I'll decide how to dismantle it. So I say, "How long?" She blinks. Her voice is raw, barely above a whisper. 6 years, off and on. That burns like acid. 6 years. My stomach lurches. That's about how old my son is. I want to roar, but I keep my composure, though my voice has a quiver I can't hide. The child. You knew he wasn't mine. She flinches. I wasn't sure. When I found out, Robert insisted he couldn't be a father, that he wasn't ready. And you were so thrilled, so convinced you were the dad. Don't. I snap, cutting her off. Don't pin this on me. You could have told the truth. We could have. I don't know what we could have done, but it would have been honest. She looks away, tears dripping onto that damned shirt in her lap. For a moment, neither of us speaks. I step closer, noticing how she clutches the fabric, as if it's some miserable trophy of everything that's gone wrong. Then I ask the question that's eating me alive. When he was here last night, did you too? I can't finish. My chest is so tight, I can barely breathe. She nods, an infinitesimal motion, her eyes pressed shut as if the sight of me is too painful. I stand there, fists clenched, forcing myself not to react physically. A swirl of images floods my mind, the thought of her with him in my house, on my bed maybe. The throbbing in my head intensifies, and I taste bitterness in my mouth. I turn away from her, staring at the wall. On the other side is our bedroom. My jaw sets so hard it hurts. Slowly, with forced calm, I say, "I need space." She exhales shakily. "What do you want me to do?" I keep my gaze fixed on that blank stretch of drywall. "I'm not sure yet, but for now, you stay out of my way. Don't come near me unless I call for you. Do you understand?" Her voice is a ragged whisper. "Yes." I walk away, leaving her there. Every step feels heavy. I go out the front door, take a gulp of the crisp Denver air. My hands are shaking so badly, I have to shove them in my pockets. The urge to run, to scream into the sky, nearly overwhelms me. But I'm supposed to be stoic. A man. I wrestle my emotions down, turning them into cold focus. I can't let this break me. That afternoon, I drive across town, ignoring the calls on my phone. It's probably her, or maybe him. I don't answer. Instead, I head to the old industrial zone near the river. There's a place I know, a rundown building that used to be a textile factory. It's mostly deserted now. Sometimes I come here to clear my mind, to watch the water flow by. I park, get out, and walk to the edge where the chain-link fence stands. The air is thick with the smell of metal and dampness. I stand there, leaning against the fence, and I remember the day I found out about the father's name on those digital archives. How the archivist's voice sounded distant, almost robotic, telling me that it was no error. They'd checked multiple times. The system was correct. My son's father was listed as Robert Johnson. The phone call replayed in my head for days. Then came her nighttime murmurs. That camera I set up. That final confirmation. And now I'm stuck in this nightmare. I pull out my phone. There's a text from her. "I love you. Please come home. We can talk. I'm sorry." I stare at it, unblinking. Another message. "We'll figure this out. I promise. Please." I close the messaging app without replying. Another text from an unknown number appears. "Michael, can we talk? I'm sorry for everything." My throat tightens. Robert. So he's got my number now. Maybe she gave it to him. Or maybe he's had it all along. The pit in my stomach grows deeper. I stuff the phone back into my pocket. In my mind, I see the quiet cruelty of continuing like nothing happened. Letting her stew, letting him wonder. Taking control so they feel powerless. just like I felt powerless. Yes, that idea tastes good. Or maybe I should confront him face to face. Demand answers, revenge. Yet I remember how calm I was in the kitchen, controlling the conversation like a cross-examination. That was my way of holding power. And now I want more of it. I stare at the river beyond the fence, the water swirling around broken chunks of concrete. My heart's hammering in my chest. The words come out of me like a confession. I'm not letting this go. 2 days pass. I stay in a hotel. I check in with my office to say I'm on leave. My boss is concerned, but I promise to wrap up my project soon. In the hotel room, I can't sleep. My mind replays every detail of my marriage, every affectionate moment that might have been a lie. My phone vibrates at all hours with messages from her, from him. I read them in numb silence. Her. I'm losing my mind. Talk to me. Please. I'm so sorry. I never wanted this. Him. Michael, this is Rob. Please call me. We need to discuss everything. Some texts are longer, more elaborate, with please or excuses. I ignore them all. At night, I lie in the dark, listening to the hum of the hotel air conditioner, rehearsing in my head what I'll do next. There's a part of me that wants to let it tear me apart, that wants to collapse. But another part is cold, calculating. That part says, we can settle this on my terms. So I wait. I know she's expecting me to come home eventually. I know he's waiting for me to respond. Let them wait. Let them taste the uncertainty. Because for 6 years, I was the one in the dark. My breathing is ragged in the darkness. I rub my chest, feeling that hollow ache. The thought crosses my mind. A real man wouldn't let them see him cry. So I don't cry. But it's close. Every moment, it's close. On the 3rd day, I check out of the hotel, drive by the house. Her car is in the driveway. Lights on in the living room. I don't go in. Instead, I circle the block, then park in a quiet side street. I call her. She answers on the 2nd ring. Michael? Her voice is breathless, trembling. Oh God, where are you? I don't say hello. I don't say I miss her. I just speak cold. Tell him to come over. Right now. I'm coming home. We 3 will talk. She makes a sound, half gasp, half choke. What? You want both of us there? That's what I said. Don't argue. She hesitates. Then in a small voice, okay. I hang up. For a moment, I grip the wheel so tightly my hands ache. Then I drive around the corner, park in my driveway, and get out. He arrives half an hour later. By then, we're in the living room, me on the couch, her pacing the floor, hands clasped in front of her. She's wearing a plain t-shirt and sweatpants, hair pulled back in a messy knot. Dark circles under her eyes. The doorbell rings, and she jumps. I motion for her to answer. She opens the door, steps aside. He appears in the entrance, shoulders tense, face drawn. He's a little shorter than me, but fit, well-groomed. He's wearing a casual blazer over a shirt, jeans that fit a bit too well. And his expression is one of cautious remorse. He looks around, sees me. Our eyes lock. I nod once curt. Close the door. Sit. He does. He settles into the armchair, leaning forward, elbows on his knees. She stands behind him, arms crossed. I remain on the couch, hands on my thighs, fighting the urge to lunge at him. I clear my throat, forcing my voice to be steady. This is how it's going to go, I say, sounding like a judge pronouncing a verdict. I talk. You two listen. Then you can talk if I allow it. Understood. He glances up, meets my gaze. His voice is low. Yes. She nods, wiping at her tear-stained cheeks. All right, she whispers. I exhale. Good. I lean forward. I want to know from your own mouth how this started. He looks at her, then back at me. She. We. He stops, rubs his face with a hand. I met her 6 years ago. She came to me for some coaching sessions. She flinches. I hold up a hand, quieting her. Continue. I say, my tone icy. He swallows. We connected. It wasn't planned, but we started seeing each other outside of sessions. I swear it wasn't purely physical at first, but eventually, we got intimate. She told me she was married, but I couldn't stop. It was as if we were drawn to each other. I stare at him, my jaw clenched. And then she got pregnant. He rubs his palms together, uneasy. Yeah, she told me it was mine. Then a week later, she said she was going to let you believe you were the father. She said you had always wanted a child, and she couldn't stand to break your heart. He lowers his eyes. I told her I wasn't ready to be a dad. So I didn't fight it. The words are like shards of glass in my gut. I close my eyes, steadying my breath. And for 6 years, you pretended nothing happened. He nods miserably. We tried to stop, but we'd always slip back. I look at her. She's trembling, tears streaming again. You want to correct him? I ask. Her voice is tiny. No. That's what happened. I force myself to remain calm. So you let me live with a lie for all these years. A statement, not a question. She nods. Yes. I direct my next words at him. Tell me, Robert, do you love her? He hesitates, looks at her, then at me. Yes. But it's complicated. We had a connection, but I never wanted to break up your marriage. I swear it. I can't help a short, bitter laugh. You break up a marriage by sleeping with a married woman. You break it up by fathering a child with her. Don't pretend innocence. You're as guilty as she is. He exhales shakily. I know. Silence weighs on us like a heavy shroud. Finally, I stand, move behind the couch, needing distance. My voice is rough. You too did this. You took my family, my illusions, and spat on them. And you. I glare at her. You tried to keep me in the dark forever. She tries to speak, fails, tries again. Her voice cracks. I never wanted you hurt like this. I let that sit in the air. My hands grip the back of the couch, knuckles white. Then, quietly, I say I want full custody of my son. Do you hear me? Their eyes widen in shock. She shakes her head. Michael, no, you're not even. I slam my fist against the couch, making both of them flinch. Don't say that again. For 6 years, I've been his father in every sense but biology. I'm not giving him up. Her voice trembles. He's yours, spiritually, emotionally. But you want me out of his life. That's insane. He's my son. I glare at her. So you only remember he's your son when it's convenient. You made me a lie, but now you want the truth. It doesn't work that way. Robert shifts, clearing his throat. Michael, let's be reasonable. We can figure out I level him with a stare that could cut steel. Don't you dare talk to me about reason. You lost that privilege. You want to play father now. Or maybe you just want to keep messing around. He lowers his gaze. No. I nod slowly, controlling my breathing. Good, because if you try to claim paternity in court, I'll ruin you. I have enough resources to bury you in legal fees for the rest of your life. He doesn't reply. Then I turn to her again. My heart is pounding, but my voice is measured. As for you, I want to separate. We'll discuss the details later. You can keep the house for now, because I need to figure out a new living arrangement. But I'll be damned if I walk away from my son. I'll demand a formal agreement. She brings a hand to her mouth, trying not to sob. Michael, please, don't do anything rash. Let's talk to a counselor, or you had 6 years to come clean. I say coldly. You didn't. Now I get to decide what happens next. She breaks down, covering her face with her hands, shoulders shaking. I watch her with a strange detachment. Then I look at Robert. His face is grim, as if he wants to comfort her, but knows better than to move. The tension is thick enough to choke on. I feel my pulse hammering. The old me, the naive me, might have softened at her tears. But that part of me is gone. I'm in control now. And I hate that I find a certain satisfaction in it. Finally, I speak again, giving them my verdict. That's all for now. Get out. She looks at me, eyes wide. What? I point at the door. Both of you, I'm done talking. I need to breathe. Go. For a moment, she wavers. Then Robert stands, gently puts a hand on her arm. Come on, he mutters, guiding her toward the door. As they pass me, she tries to grab my hand. I pull away, not meeting her eyes. My throat feels tight. The smell of her shampoo lingers, stirring memories of better times. Times that feel like a cruel joke now. They leave. The door shuts. The silence in the house is deafening. I'm shaking all over. Part of me wants to call her back, to hold her, to bury my face in her shoulder and let the tears come. But I don't. Instead, I walk to the kitchen sink, turn the water on cold, and splash my face until I'm numb. After that day, I file for legal separation. I also file a petition for custody, with the argument that I've been the de facto father. I consult a lawyer friend who owes me a favor. We draft documents, gather evidence, prove the child's best interests. Meanwhile, I move into a small apartment near downtown, close enough to keep seeing my son daily, if she agrees. And she does, because she's too broken to fight right now. Days blur. My nights are restless. I lie on a cheap mattress in that cramped apartment, listening to city noises outside. My mind replays everything from the day we first met, to our wedding, to the moment I saw her in that shower, rinsing away the evidence of another man's touch. The pain is constant, like a dull roar in my ears, but I hold on to my cold resolve. It's all that keeps me functioning. She tries calling me. Sometimes I answer. Sometimes I don't. When we talk, it's about the child. She's contrite, begs me to come back, or at least to talk to her in person. I keep our conversations short, polite, distant. I can hear how it tears her up. But I don't have the capacity to soothe her guilt. One night, about a week later, my phone buzzes with a text from her. He's having nightmares. He wants you. My heart twists. I text back. I'll be there in 10. I slip on some clothes, drive to the house we once shared. She meets me at the door. Her eyes are puffy, hair disheveled. She stands back, letting me pass. I hurry to my son's room, push open the door quietly. He's half awake, whimpering from a bad dream. When he sees me, he reaches out. I go to him, stroke his hair, murmur softly. My chest aches with love and sorrow. No matter what the documents say, no matter the DNA, he's my boy in every real sense. He eventually drifts back to sleep. I sit on the edge of his bed a while, watching him breathe. Then I step into the hallway. She's there, leaning against the wall, arms folded protectively. "Thank you," she says softly. "He missed you." I nod, not trusting my voice. The hallway lamp casts a harsh shadow on her face. She looks tired, older. She's wearing a plain t-shirt and loose sweatpants, a big shift from the fashionable outfits she once loved. We stand like that a moment, the silence tense. She licks her lips. "Mike, can we talk? Just for a minute." I want to refuse, but something compels me to nod. "All right." We go into the living room. I notice she's rearranged the furniture, or maybe it just feels different now that half my belongings are gone. She sits on the couch, I stand. She draws a shaky breath. "How long will this punishment go on?" she asks, voice trembling. "I know I've done something terrible. I know you have every right to be angry. But please, it's killing me." I clench my jaw. "What did you expect? That I'd just bounce back?" She shakes her head. "No, but maybe we could try counseling or something. Don't you think, after all these years? You destroyed my trust," I say, letting the bitterness seep into my voice. "There's no going back from that." She lowers her head. "So this is it then. I hesitate. My heart pounds. The memory of holding her in my arms, how safe and right it used to feel, slams into me. The faint echo of her laughter, the warmth of her body at night. Then the image morphs into her with Robert, lying in our bed. I choke on a surge of fury, ball my fists. I don't see a future for us, I answer at length, my tone as hollow as I feel. From now on, it's about our son, nothing more. She inhales sharply, tears sliding down her cheeks. I understand. Her devastation is palpable. But I don't let myself be moved. My voice flattens, as if reading from a script. I'll come by to check on him. I'll call you with the final custody agreement. That's all. She reaches for me, but I step back. Her hand closes on empty air. She lets out a sob. Without another word, I turn and walk out, leaving her alone in the house we once called our home. Weeks pass. The legal process grinds on. Robert tries to contact me, offering to step up, to confess paternity, or to do whatever it takes. I block his number. My lawyer advises me not to speak with him. It's better for your custody claim if you maintain distance. Keep your record clean, he says. Fine. That suits me. At work, people notice the change in me. I'm quieter, more intense. Rumors swirl, but I don't confirm or deny anything. I just keep my head down and do the job. Some nights, I go to the gym, trying to sweat out the rage. Other nights, I hole up in the apartment, drowning in late-night whiskey. It's not healthy, but I can't seem to find another release. My wife, no, my soon-to-be ex-wife, calls me less frequently now. When she does, it's about practical matters. She sounds subdued, broken. I wonder if she's still seeing him. My gut clenches at the thought. But I don't ask. It's none of my business anymore, I tell myself, though a voice in my head screams otherwise. The only spark of light in this gloom is my son. I pick him up on weekends, take him to the park, to a baseball game. He's confused about why I don't live at home. And the best I can manage is a gentle, "It's complicated. But I love you, buddy." He clings to me sometimes, like he's afraid I'll vanish too. Each time, it breaks my heart a little more, but I keep my face calm, my tone steady. Because that's what a father does. Eventually, a court hearing is scheduled. In a preliminary arrangement, I'm granted partial custody. The judge notes the unusual circumstances, but acknowledges that I've been a father figure all this time. My wife seems resigned to it. Robert doesn't appear. Apparently, he's staying out of the legal side. Fine by me. After the hearing, I step outside the courthouse, my lawyer at my side, the crisp autumn air biting my cheeks. She's there too, hugging her arms around herself. She walks over timidly. "Mike." I tilt my head, letting the lawyer head off to talk with some clerk. "Yes." She musters a weak smile. I'm glad you're still going to be in his life." I swallow, nod. "Me too." She looks like she wants to say more, but words fail. I notice the slightest shimmer of hope in her eyes, as if maybe we can salvage something. But I can't give her that. Not anymore. I turn away, heading down the courthouse steps, leaving her behind. My footsteps echo in that wide marble corridor, and her soft sob catches in the cold air. I don't look back. That night, I'm alone in the apartment again, nursing a glass of whiskey. The place smells of stale air and cheap cleaning supplies. My phone buzzes once. I glance at it, see a new message from a number I didn't block. Roberts. "Michael, I know you hate me. I deserve it, but I want to do right by you and by the boy. Please, let me at least apologize in person. If you agree, meet me at Riverside Lounge tomorrow at 8 p.m. My first impulse is to block him, but something holds me back. Maybe I crave a final confrontation. Maybe I want to see him squirm, see him admit his guilt to my face. So I respond with one word. Fine. The Riverside Lounge is a quiet bar near the water, dimly lit, wood-paneled walls. I arrive at 7:55, find a booth in the corner, order a scotch. A few minutes later, He walks in. Spotting me, he comes over, wearing an apologetic expression. He's in a dark jacket, hair neatly trimmed, but the tension in his shoulders is visible. He slides into the seat across from me. "Thank you for coming," he says softly. I don't reply. I take a swig of scotch, let the warmth fill my chest. He orders a bourbon from the waitress, then focuses on me. There's a moment of silence before he speaks. "I'm not here to defend myself," he starts. "I'm here to tell you that I'm sorry. It sounds so small compared to what I've done, but I need you to know I regret it." I set my glass down, the ice cubes rattling. My voice is low, controlled. "What exactly do you regret, Rob? Sleeping with my wife, fathering a child, or letting me raise him in ignorance?" He flinches. "All of it." I stare him down. The bar's neon lights cast a shadow over half his face. "Then why didn't you stop? Why not at least tell me, man to man, or break it off so she could be honest with me?" He exhales slowly. "Because I was weak. I'm not proud of it." I tried to walk away multiple times, but we kept getting pulled back in. His eyes flick away, then back. "I swear I never wanted to hurt you." I let out a short, humorless laugh. "That's what you both say. Yet here we are." He nods, shame coloring his features. The waitress brings his bourbon. He takes a small sip. "Michael, I don't expect forgiveness, but I want to do right by your son. Our son. If you need child support or anything." I hold up a hand, cutting him off. "Don't. I'm not here for your money. And you're not stepping in now to play father. I won't let you confuse him." His lips thin. "You realize one day he'll find out." My heart lurches. That day can come when he's older, and I'll explain on my terms, not because you decided to barge in. Understood? He nods. "Yes, I understand. I'm willing to do whatever's best." We sit in silence a moment. I swirl the scotch in my glass. My hands feel steady, which surprises me. "Let me ask you this," I say finally, voice quiet. "Do you love her? Or was it just something you did because it felt good?" He closes his eyes briefly. At first, I thought it was just infatuation. But I cared about her, yes, and I think she cared about me. Even so, I know we were in the wrong. Every day I wish I could take it back. I hurt you, I hurt her, I hurt everyone. I study him, noticing the regret etched on his face. My chest feels tight. "She was my wife." I say, each word heavy. "You took that from me. You took what could have been a normal, honest life." He nods, swallowing hard. "I know." I take a deep breath. "If I were a more violent man, I'd drag you out of this booth and beat you into the floor. I've imagined it 100 times. His eyes flicker with fear. He stiffens but doesn't move. "I'd accept that," he whispers. I let my breath out slowly. "But that's not who I am. And it won't make anything better." He nods, relief mingling with sorrow. We both nurse our drinks in silence, the bar's soft music drifting overhead. I replay 1,000 ways this conversation could go. But in the end, there's only one outcome. I finish my scotch, set the glass down with a thud. "I'm done, Rob," I say quietly. "I'm done letting you live rent-free in my head. Do not contact me again unless it's absolutely necessary. If you see her, fine, but keep it away from me and from my child." "Understood." He meets my gaze. "Understood." I push the glass aside. My chest heaves with a slow exhale. I stand, toss a few bills on the table for my drink. He remains seated, looking up at me with an expression of heavy regret. I consider saying something more, but there's nothing left. I walk away, leaving him in that dimly lit bar, the weight of the past suffocating whatever he has left of a conscience. A month later, the separation agreement is formalized, and I get partial custody. She keeps the house for now, though I suspect she might sell it eventually. I gather my final things one gray afternoon. She helps me pack, quiet tears slipping down her cheeks. I don't offer comfort. We move like ghosts through a place that once held so much life. I load my boxes into the trunk of my car, close the trunk with a soft click. She stands on the porch, arms wrapped around herself. I look at her for a long moment, remembering the day we moved in, how she was laughing, skipping across the lawn. The memory stabs at my heart. "Is this forever?" she asks, voice trembling. I nod slowly. "I don't see any other way." She wipes her eyes. "I'll always love you, you know." I never stopped. A bitter ache tightens my throat. Somewhere along the line, you did. Or at least you loved him more. Anyway, it doesn't matter now. She bows her head, tears dripping off her chin. "Goodbye, Michael." I don't trust myself to speak, so I just turn, climb into my car, and drive away. The rearview mirror shows her figure shrinking behind me, until it's just a blur. My eyes burn, but I don't cry. Time grinds forward. I settle into a routine. Work, see my son, pick him up from school sometimes, bring him to my apartment for the weekend. We watch baseball, order pizza. He's adapting, though he misses the old house, the old life. I do my best to be strong for him, to reassure him that he's not the cause of any of this. As for me, I'm hollow. I function. I smile for him. I handle tasks. But inside there's a well of grief and anger that threatens to swallow me if I let it. The only release is this sense of cold satisfaction that I took control, that I didn't let them keep me in the dark. My revenge is living on my terms, no longer dancing to their lies. It's a dark comfort, but it's what I have. Sometimes at night, I dream of her. I see her face inches from mine. I feel her breath on my skin. And then behind her, I see him, pulling her away, and I jolt awake, drenched in sweat. My chest heaves, and I stare at the ceiling, reminding myself that I'm free of their deception. But the pain is still there, like a throbbing wound that refuses to heal. One evening, weeks after everything is finalized, I get a call from her. I stare at the phone. Normally, I'd ignore it, but something makes me pick up. She's crying, voice shaky. "I just needed to hear your voice." In the background, I hear the television, cartoon noises. Our son is probably in the next room. "You all right?" I ask, my tone guarded. She sniffles. "I miss you. I hate how I ruined everything." I close my eyes, the old ache flaring up. "That's done." She nods through the phone, as if I can see her. I know. Sometimes I wish I could go back in time. "Tell you the truth, or never meet him." "I'm so sorry." I rub my forehead, feeling the weight of her words. A part of me wants to shout at her for the 1000th time, to drown her in anger. But I've grown tired of that. "Yeah," I say softly. "Me too." Silence stretches. Then she says, "He asks about you sometimes, about why you're not here anymore." My throat constricts. "And what do you tell him?" "The simplest version. That we don't get along right now. I don't want to lie to him anymore." "Good." I pause, uncertain. "I'll see him tomorrow. I'll pick him up from daycare." She breathes a shaky sigh of relief. "He'll be happy." I stare at the cracked paint on my wall. "Anything else?" She's quiet for a long moment. Then softly, "Do you think you'll ever forgive me?" I don't answer right away. My mind churns. After a while, I murmur, "I don't know." She sniffles again. "I understand. Bye, Michael." I end the call without another word. My hand shakes as I lower the phone. The question echoes in my mind. Do I think I'll ever forgive her? Right now, it feels impossible. But there's a small corner of my heart that wonders if, in time, the rage and hurt will numb enough for me to see a future that isn't consumed by pain. For now, though, I'm done living in illusions. My life is mine again, scared and battered, but under my control. That has to be enough. I go to the sink, turn on the faucet, let cold water run. It reminds me of that first night, hearing the shower run without me, the sound of betrayal dripping into my bones. I stand here, staring at the water's steady stream, feeling that old bitterness surge, then recede, replaced by a dull ache. The rage used to devour me, but now it's quieter, resting like a coiled serpent in the pit of my stomach, waiting for any sign of betrayal to strike again. I turn off the faucet. My reflection in the dark window stares back, a man who's older, heavier with grief, but still standing. I run a hand over my face, remembering how I once thought tears were weakness. Maybe they're just proof that I'm human. But I haven't shed them. Not fully. Not yet. I walk into the dim living room of my apartment. The single lamp casts shadows on the wall. I sink onto the couch, let my head fall back. My chest tightens. Slowly, I draw in a breath. Then another. The images float in my mind. The archives revealing my son's father isn't me, the shirt reeking of her perfume. The night I confronted them both. All of it, swirling like a storm. And beneath it all, the realization that life goes on, that every day I wake up with the same cold knot in my gut, but also with a quiet determination to protect the boy who calls me Dad. Finally, my phone buzzes, pulling me from my thoughts. A text from my lawyer. Custody hearing next week, just a formality. Looks good for you. Hang in there. I let out a long breath, almost a laugh, but it's more like a scoff. A part of me wonders if any of this is truly good. A father who isn't the father. A wife who isn't faithful. A lover who took what I thought was mine. But the child is still there, real and innocent in all this mess. He's the one piece I refuse to abandon. Maybe that's my victory, my revenge, my closure. I stand up from the couch, walk to the window, and stare out at the city lights. The reflection stares back, the lines on my face deeper, the ring on my finger now gone. I slip my hands into my pockets. My heart feels heavy, but it keeps beating. And maybe that's all that matters. Outside, the night is quiet except for a distant siren. In the hush, I whisper to the empty room, almost like a prayer or a final statement in a trial that's nearly over. I'm still here. And that for now is enough.